into Pick Central, brought to you by DraftKings. The Emirates NBA Cup is here, and you can win big getting in on the action at the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday, playing for the right to advance to the single elimination in-season tourney, culminating in the NBA Cup Championship in Vegas. Get behind your favorite players and prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the best place to bet NBA player props. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like picking how many points your favorite player will have. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Marty, you have an available line tonight?
I actually have a parlay for tonight's classic. I have on the DraftKings app. It is Kansas minus 5.5. I have the over in Kansas and Duke minus 5.5. Plus,
what about one of the NBA games? I think I saw the Warriors minus 2.5.
I have an NBA game. It was one of them. Sorry, let me pull it up here.
I like Kansas.
Who's Golden State playing tonight? I'm going against them.
I'm not sure who they're playing, but I like Kansas. I like Golden State minus 2.5.
I like them. I like the. Let me see here. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared for
I
this.
don't know who they're playing, but
I like Golden State.
I'm sorry.
He was
it is Dallas Mavericks.
Navericks.
Okay.
Best point guard in the game, Kyrie Irving.
I like Dallas Mavericks minus 2.5 tonight.
Just let's lay the 3 with the Knicks. Sixers are bad.
Sixers are bad.
Getting Embiid back.
Embiid.
Not nervous about that?
Tonight is just something that.
We're nervous about it last playoffs.
I'm worried about Embiid.
That's true.
First time
I
try.
like the Pistons.
Okay.
Thank you.
All of them available.
Scrappy.
Lines lines and odds subject to change. First time, try betting is something simple. Here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code PICKCENTRAL. That's code PICKCENTRAL for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. We're getting into heavy college today, but let's start on last night. A little bit of a dud of a game.
A little bit. Speaking kind.
Yeah, I'm trying to be kind,
Generous.
but
Why?
The
game stunk.
It was brutal.
Game was
Horrible game.
So there wasn't anything. The first drive of the game was good for the Dolphins, and then after that, it was just turnover, then a field goal. The Rams didn't score a touchdown.
The Rams didn't get in. They got to the 20, but they didn't get past that in the red zone all game.
It was just not like Tyreek Hill had like 2 catches. Like there wasn't anything like special really happen. Anything like, wow, remember this play? My question is, do you think either of those teams can make the playoffs?
I'd say the Dolphins more than the Rams.
More likely than the Rams.
Only because the AFC wild card, that last spot is like so low.
Dolphins' schedule come up very easy. It's the only thing.
I know.
I mean, I guess that
They needed to win one more.
well.
They needed to win one more.
The Dolphins
the
Dolphins defense has been like decent all year. They just had such a stretch of putrid offense. They put themselves in this hole. I don't know. I don't really believe in either team at this point. The Rams were so tough last time, man. It felt like every time they got like to the 20, the 25, Stafford would just take like a 12-yard sack. They'd be like hoping to make like a long field goal. There's every time they would just drive and they would just have like that one bad play that would just like fuck the whole drive up and have to settle for the field goal. Like he threw for almost 300 yards last night. And a lot of them, granted, were in the second half when they were down, but they were never like out of the game entirely.
No. They were
always like, they weren't like garbage yards. Like they were just like pushing the ball down.
Dolphins didn't score that last field goal. They would have probably went to overtime.
Yeah.
We all know they were
They
scoring
would have
that.
won and covered. They would have gotten the ball first and then scored their first.
Probably.
They would have scored right away.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like the Dolphins are a team that I think we thought they could have made the playoffs before the season started, right?
Yes.
And now Tua was out, obviously, a long time. And then they lost 1-score games to the Cardinals and the Bills right when they came back. Just beat the Rams. I think they have the Raiders next. Then they have like the Titans. And then somebody else that's like a winnable game.
Patriots.
And Patriots, that
Like a
could
coin
be
flip.
now.
Could look up and be 6-6. What
We
you're
look up at
saying?
6.
And right now, the last team is Denver. It's 5-5. They be in the playoffs right now.
It's not a. I don't
That's
think
the
it's
thing. It's a
crazy.
very faint praise.
We have a odds on them to make the playoffs.
Sure, I could pull that up. Give me a
It's
second.
so many games to chase, though. Like they're
Not that many
You're
games to
looking
chase.
not that many.
5-5. And the Broncos are not a good
looking
team.
for,
Yeah, Broncos are 5-5,
That's a
3-6.
team right now you want to look at like for just odds wise, like get a little good value for it.
I think the Broncos, personally, I think are better than the Dolphins, but I don't think they're much better.
350.
I think it's close.
Plus 350. That seems pretty.
They were plus 500 yesterday, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Huh.
I mean, so they're gonna, like you said, they're going to be favored in the next 3 games probably.
Yeah.
But they still, I mean, it's still a long way to go. Like, and just because they're favored doesn't mean they're going to win them all. because even like last night, for example, like the Rams defense is decent, but I mean, even like everyone's talking about, like how bad they look with Tua. Like it's not like they're lighting the world on fire with them. They're definitely much better than they were, obviously, without him.
No, that was not an impressive offensive performance at all.
I'm saying he hasn't been impressive in any of it since he's been back. Like they've just been like okay since he got back.
I'm not going to say the Dolphins.
Awful to okay.
Okay might be good enough.
Maybe
in the AFC for that last wild card spot.
If the defense keeps playing like they did last night, potentially.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
It's just tough for me because I look at them like, could they like grab that like 7th playoff spot? Like maybe.
I don't even know what that means though. Like you get smoked.
Like they're gonna go on the road and get just annihilated by fucking
by Pittsburgh or something.
No, they wouldn't get annihilated by Pittsburgh. They could play with.
I get shut out
in Pittsburgh. They get dominated.
They get fucking crushed.
In Pittsburgh in January, they get bitch slapped out of there.
Dolphins,
Dolphins. They're just soft.
You're right with the cold weather.
In the cold, they're gonna get killed out there.
That's the thing. I think it's gonna come. The Dolphins can win 2 in a row. The Dolphins are gonna lose.
Not the Dolphins, might be the Chargers.
Who the Chargers are more.
Chargers have a brutal schedule coming up.
Chargers are brutal. Chargers are more like I believe in them.
Sorry, it might even be Houston. You know, like so. Have to go to Houston. I think C.J. Stroud would just annihilate that team.
Yeah, they have a better chance in a dome.
Yeah,
they actually probably win that one.
I don't know, man.
I just want to say I'm not taking away the loss last night at all. But if you're looking down the stretch for the Dolphins, everything like couple of Tua's throws last night. Like, not like almost interceptions, sure, but like that could change the game on its head.
Yeah.
Like some of those throws, I was like, holy fuck, that was
crazy.
Like,
he didn't play great.
Three. I mean, off the top of my head, 3 dropped interceptions or 3 interception-worthy plays.
Definitely close. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm a Tua hater.
I don't know. Who do you want in the playoffs? You want the Bengals or you want the Dolphins? Like, I think the
Bengals are the team that any fans would want. They're the team that have the most puncher's chance against like a good team that could go on the road and upset a good team. They're the one team that can actually do it.
I don't want the Colts in. I don't want
the Colts. I don't want the Broncos. I wouldn't mind the Chargers. I think that's a decent story.
Chargers are a team that I think would have the best chance to compete against a good team as well, including the Bengals because they have Burrow.
It's just a team I don't know what's going on.
They're just physical. They play defense.
Yeah, they just don't make mistakes.
Yeah, they run the ball like
super efficient.
Herbert is good.
Herbert has like 2 picks.
Yeah, they're just like really efficient. They're kind of boring, but they just get the job done.
We were saying that it's literally Michigan last year.
Yeah, that's
obviously a better quarterback, but like it's just run J.K. Dobbins, run. You got all these, and then when he needs to open it up a little bit, Justin Herbert goes.
We have a QB1 and MVP frontrunner. Justin Herbert.
Sorry, Joe.
Mountain is the best in the world.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's a.
It's not a front runner. I mean, it's just insane.
He's not even honestly close to MVP. I would say
he's been accurate. Sure, like his accuracy.
He's having a very nice year.
I do not agree with MVP, but I do agree that like I think he's been a top 5 quarterback.
He's played.
He's just doing exactly what he's supposed to do.
He's played really
well. And we
well
knew
this
exactly
year.
what he was going to do going into the season. We're like, yeah, he's not going to have the stats, but he's going to do exactly what's needed of him, and he's doing it fantastic. And when he needs to make the immaculate throw, he does.
MVP though is
I agree
because he's 21st in yards, he's 11th in touchdowns. He has 1 pick, which is amazing.
Yeah,
and then he's 11th in QBR. Like obviously, he's having a good year.
He's having a great year.
Yeah, he's having a great year. I think literally this shows you everything about what coaching and your offensive coordinator can do for a quarterback. Truly.
And a team.
It's not just sometimes because Justin Herbert was just being told, like, you got to throw a ton into these dog shit receivers. Now they, like, have a plan. Like I said, I was saying this yesterday. Harbaugh went in there and said, we're going to run the ball. They got Joe Alt. They're getting their line set up. I'm glad J.K. Dobbins is also healthy because I've always thought he was good. But it's crazy what happens when you actually have a plan and a good coach
and someone who people respect and trust and can put his own plan in. And Harbaugh is doing everything right. Every single thing that he's getting the maximum effort out of that team.
And again, I did say this yesterday too. They truly have not beaten a single good team, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't.
They're taking care of the business they have to.
Yes, but we will go to like a lot of other schedules. There's just a lot of bad teams where a lot of teams are like, well, they haven't beaten anybody. Like the Commanders, right? We say they've beaten the Bengals as their best team. They've beaten everyone else they haven't beaten anyone over 500 yet. But that's just what the NFL is right now.
Half the league's under 500.
The league is just not good. So.
Can I ask a question?
More than half.
Should we be changing the way we look at it as they haven't beaten anybody to they haven't lost to anybody shitty? Because the Chargers also haven't done that.
Yeah, you
know what I'm
do
saying?
Both. Yeah.
They just don't lose games. They don't lose games they're like not supposed to.
Right.
They just win all the games they're supposed
Right.
to, and then
You don't make, like you said, even
It's Raiders.
where they play defense.
Raiders win. Panthers win. Steelers lost. They're a good team. Chiefs lost. They're a good team. Beat the Broncos. Lost to the Cardinals. They're a good team. Beat the Saints. Beat the Browns. Beat the Titans.
and the Broncos are
They
like,
didn't lose.
Broncos
They
are
haven't
okay.
lost until you take that
It's a
loss.
fair thing to say they haven't lost any. Like they're doing what they have to do.
Yep.
I mean, the Ravens lost to the Raiders.
Right.
Lost to the Browns too.
Yeah, they're a good team to lose to bad teams. It's just sports.
What?
Every show is this son.
Yeah, but
Sports.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of rooting for the Dolphins to make a run, at least. You know what I mean? Like, it's,
Yeah,
they got
more
a
than
bad
other
break.
teams, sure.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that. Ev doesn't seem like it.
I'm a Dolphins hater. I'm a two.
Oh yeah, you are. I
Do you-
forgot about that.
Do you not kind of
Not
think?
personal. Just don't believe in them. Don't believe in the team. Don't really believe in McDaniel either.
Do you kind of think that they're like, if they get in, you're kind of saying that they could get a chance more than other teams, which I somewhat agree with. But I'd almost rather want the frisky team that hasn't gotten the shot yet.
Who's that, though? Like the Broncos?
Yeah,
Broncos like Chargers.
right. Chargers, because
Well, the Chargers
want
are
the Broncos.
the Chargers
I don't
are
want
already
the
in that
Broncos.
in that spot above them.
see,
But
Buster,
they're,
I want
but
the
they're
next
on that
team
mix
up.
of like fighting for
No,
that.
but look at that last spot though. Who would you rather have? Right now it's Denver. Who would you rather have except for Denver?
Bengals.
Cincinnati.
yeah,
All right,
Cincinnati.
Who else?
Bengals is the easy answer.
Bengals, right? Then who
Miami.
else?
Bengals.
These guys
Denver.
would rather have Denver.
Bengals. Denver. Yeah.
I'd rather
Denver.
have Denver.
I'd rather have Miami too. I think Miami's more fun. But last night was
I think
dreadful.
I think neither of them can beat a
Right.
team.
No,
like
but that's not what we're
Steelers
saying.
Or the Ravens, but I think the Broncos would have like a better chance.
I want to watch really good quarterbacks in the playoffs. So
Why do you want
Go to-
Tua then?
Wouldn't they go?
Two is more than Bo Nix, is what he's saying.
yeah,
See?
and I like Bo.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I don't know.
That's fair.
I'm saying
know
like
if Tua
I
is
want the
better
guy that
than
hasn't
Bo
proven himself
Nix?
yet.
I mean, we do, but
doesn't.
but last
We know.
No, but last night was. Since he's been back, Tua hasn't been great. Yesterday's game was dreadful. I don't know if I want to watch that in the.
No, that's a
That's
different
also not my
conversation.
point.
Right this second, Tua is better than
If I had a game in my life
Bo
depend on
Nix.
who do I have a quarterback? Tua.
Yes,
Clearly.
right this second. I think Bo Nix has potential to get. He's
Yes.
getting a lot better.
That's fair.
I'm a Bo Nix guy, but we can't be out here saying that Tua is better.
But Tua led the league in yards.
Should have beat
last
the Chiefs yesterday.
That's also not my point though.
No, I know. I didn't know. That's what I just want to start. What was your point?
My point is like I'd rather see a quarterback like Bo Nix who
Fine.
like is getting a shot
That's
in the
fine with
playoffs
me.
as a rookie rather than someone like Tua where I just think it's like we've seen this shit already. Like I don't think they have a shot in shit.
That's a good point.
Do you know who's the most accurate quarterback in the NFL this year?
Tua?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's his stuff.
Would have been Jared Goff.
But he's never led the league in
So-
completion percentage before. That's crazy,
So
right?
he's most accurate just his completion percentage.
Yeah, I know, and honestly, that's a loaded
It's-
stat.
I would
He
say
throws a ton of screens.
So many screens.
I know. I'm just saying, but that's still
Like even
kind of eye popping.
Clemmer, think about last night that throw like on the throwback where it was like towards the left hash and it was like a complete one read and that linebacker should have intercepted.
Yes.
that. I like that. That's Tua's MO. It's just,
No, I know.
I'd love to see that passing chart of his, like where it's like the green. Like how many balls past 15 does he throw?
That's a good question.
I like-
72% completion percentage.
Then so he must. I would say
Shocking.
Goff was on pace to break the record until I was throwing 5 picks. I know going into the Texas game, he had a better completion percentage than Drew Brees, his like record-breaking season.
By the way, Tua has not thrown 235 yards in a game this year passing. So that tells you something about how
Super mid.
Yeah, I get your point of like we've already seen it already, Dukes. I think that's fair.
You
Thanks,
just
Bosco.
know they go on the road in the cold. It's not going to go well.
That's a
They're
good
going to look
point.
like ass.
Okay, on the reverse side, if they have to go to the road in the cold, I want them in. Just the memes.
Just to fade them.
Just
Yeah,
the
the
memes and
memes.
the internet. Like that'll just
betting
be.
against them in the cold in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
What would the most you take them? Like, if the Chiefs were playing the Dolphins this year?
That wouldn't happen. Like,
I'm just saying, like, if the Chiefs were playing the Dolphins this year and it was 12 degrees in the playoffs and the spread was 14.5, would you take the Chiefs?
oh, probably not. Not
14's tough.
14.
No,
14
not-
and a half is tough.
What's the biggest
That's
number you
tough.
take?
not with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are so weird. With the
man.
Chiefs.
9.5, I'd take.
Yeah.
I was going to say 10.
It's a good hypothetical. I take 10 even to just for maybe a push.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 10 I think's the highest I'd go.
I think the Chiefs. Like I would take the Ravens at 14.5, but not the Chiefs. If that makes
I
sense.
don't know, man. I might go 11.
See, I kind of
What'd you
agree
say,
with you.
sir?
Clemmer, that's a
I
good
take the
point.
Ravens at 14.5, but not the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs just don't blow people out.
Yeah, but the Ravens also let teams back in at the end.
True, they do.
The
They
Ravens
do.
also in the cold could just run wild.
Not wrong about that. The Bills, maybe? The Bills, I would take 14.5. I can see the Bills, stomping them. Buffalo, snowy. Tua's shivering.
The Bills are really, really interesting this year. They really are.
I think they're going to buy.
They're a good team.
They're a good team. They haven't.
There's only one buy this, right? So
Who is
maybe not.
the,
The
who
Chiefs
is
are going
the,
to buy. I guess.
their losses again?
Texans.
Texans.
That might be the game. That team is going to play the Bills.
Yeah, good chance.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to Tua going to Buffalo and
that's 14.5. I
You
would
ever
say.
hear Josh Allen talk about winning a Super Bowl in Buffalo? It's truly one of the coolest things I've ever. Him talking about is just what this would mean to the
my
city,
God.
and how he's I don't even care. He's obviously I want to win the Super Bowl for myself, but the fans at that parade would be one of the craziest things I think we've all seen. He's literally I don't think anything will be left in Buffalo.
Do you remember it, Rico? Them losing the 4?
No.
No.
As a kid, I remember Buffalo being in the Super Bowls as kids.
Is that the worst thing
that's
that
about
happened
it.
to any fan?
The
Yeah.
worst one.
Gotta be right.
The worst one was the 4th. Because you knew they were playing the Cowboys again, and you knew they were going to get their asses kicked, and it was like walking into a car wreck.
Yeah.
You
Four
knew.
in a row is
They had
Four
the
in a
Giants
row.
one. Which
the
one was the
Giants
Giants?
won.
Was
The
that
first one.
my dad was
First
there.
one they
The
had.
Redskins
They
beat the
had it.
shit out of them. The Cowboys, and then the Cowboys were so much better.
They were huge favorites against the Giants, big favorites.
Oh yeah,
Like
it was
8.5
shocking.
or something.
It was it was over a touchdown. I'm pretty sure favorite.
It was a big favorite.
Would you rather not make one as a Jets fan or lose?
No, I got to make one.
lose.
I know, but I
think-
gotta get to the mountain.
The argument, the debate's always been would you rather lose 4 in a row and just have a almost a decade of
Yeah.
elite NFL team, or basically have 30 years of no playoffs, but win one Super Bowl in between?
I'd rather win one.
30 years of just being awful.
No,
but
flags fly forever.
One year
Give me
you
one.
caught lightning in a bottle.
Give me the lightning in a bottle.
So you could. It's always nice to say you got one. So
Got
it's
one.
If you didn't get, and if you have none, yourself,
Yes.
you have nothing to stand
See,
on.
the Giants have kind of done it twice.
The Giants are.
I've done it.
I mean, we've had 15 years of being one of the worst teams in the NFL, and have caught 2 Super Bowl runs.
We also beat
Giants are one of the greatest sports organizations of my lifetime.
Well,
but
that's
it's
what-
also one of the worst.
That's what pisses me off. Is we were a proud franchise, and that they went and.
But we also
I was
beat-
making the joke. I was are we getting so bad? Shadur's gonna Eli us.
Yeah.
He's gonna be I don't want to play for the Giants.
Right.
I don't think it'll get that.
I don't think so either, but it's
I
still
think
New York.
it's still the Giants still held some semblance of respect as much
Well,
as
they do
shouldn't the last
because
decade, but
because we beat the best football team probably ever to be assembled.
they've also they've
I
won.
think that's the best team that could have ever played.
They've also
if they won
won-
that game. I think we would have talked about them forever.
I mean, you can't.
It would be what the Dolphins are now.
Yeah.
That perfect team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no one would. I don't think anyone would ever be better than that.
And
Patriots.
let's
except
face
people
it,
would
how
actually
many,
care
how many
about it
times did the
besides Frank
Patriots
the
win
Tank.
that game? 95 out of 100?
What?
Yeah.
How many times did the Patriots
Yeah.
win that game?
No, 98.
Yeah.
I think maybe twice we get lucky. I truly do. I think we played the perfect
The
game.
only thing is
Tom
you guys
Brady
were a
tears
horrible
his ACL
matchup
in
for
one.
them.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We played into they played into
Yeah.
our strengths.
Yes.
Big time.
I thought it helped seeing them, too, that we got to see them first.
A ton. So
We
late,
also-
so late in the season too?
But also, I think the Giants. We've won I guess the 20. Actually, this is the first one. I guess we probably won't unless something changes. We've won a Super Bowl in every decade. Mm-hmm. 80s, 90s, 2000s,
Not the 70s, I
2010s.
guess, but-
I guess, but I'm saying, like the last
the 80s,
4.
yeah.
We won a Super Bowl in every decade.
Oh, I mean, you've won 4. You've won 4 in my lifetime and gone to 5. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It'll the
2000.
streak. If we don't go to Super Bowl in the next 5 years, the streak will end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That Ravens
Fortunate.
Super Bowl was. Oof.
Oh,
that was a bloodbath.
that was good for me though.
That was another one too, where
I
I took the Ravens. I
My
knew.
grandpa hung that in his house so he could remember how bad that felt. Like he was like, I'm on the team. He's like,
You guys had no business even being in that Super Bowl, and then the Ravens team was just so much better.
Well, it was the
It
false.
wasn't your fault. It was
the false sense of. I think we played the Vikings in the NFC Championship
yes,
game.
who were 15-1,
Won by like 1,000.
Million.
and that Vikings team was so good.
Blew them out. So everyone
Blew them
kind of
out.
thought maybe
Yes.
we have a chance.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm telling you, no one outside of New York did at least.
Yeah.
We were all like, the Ravens defense is incredible. It was a historic deal. Shit kicking, and it was. Kerry Collins, what are we doing?
It's crazy. They
Quarterback.
started
Love
a
Kerry
quarterback.
Collins.
No, it's fine. No, I get. I mean, you guys went to one. I haven't been to one. I would fucking give my fucking toe for what you guys went through in 2000. You kidding me? I'm not shitting on you. I'm just saying that was just a bad draw for you. That Ravens team was really good.
Really good. Anything else big picture NFL?
Something not just really.
I think we got a really good one Thursday
I would
night.
say some really good matchups this week. We
Yeah.
have.
Not on Monday night next week, but Thursday night is good.
Oh, Monday
We
night's
have.
bad.
We got.
Should they be able to flex Monday night? I know it's like logistically impossible. Should they be able to
you
flex?
just can't.
It's too hard.
with the
Impossible,
with the
right?
days,
Hard
you just
logistically.
can't- You just can't.
What if you did it 3 weeks in advance?
Don't people have like concerts and
like
shit?
people you buy
like, you know what I
tickets
mean?
Yeah,
or, like
no, I get
going
it.
on the stadium or whatever.
Fly
I
out
don't
and
know.
stuff like you go to the
get it.
game.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You can't. You
can't,
just
that would fuck people
move
up.
it up 24 hours or down or whatever.
They should be able to flex it because Monday's bad. Watching the Cowboys in prime time is bad.
Cowboys
You
and
would be so
Texans.
mad if you were on the opposite side of that and they
Oh,
flexed
agreed.
You.
Totally.
If they
agree.
flexed you out of you going to that Monday
Oh my
night game.
God.
you would-
Never hear the end of
I
it.
c- In a
10 years
bizarre
later, you'd be
world,
bitching
I
about
could
it.
hear his rant.
Yeah, totally. It's good that they can flex to Sunday nights. The Jets don't deserve to be in prime time.
Jets Colts? That game would have been horrible.
Horrific.
Horrible game.
You know what
They
they
did the
should
right
be
thing
able to
that
do
way.
though?
No one should watch the Jets.
I was thinking about this last night on the train home. Is when you were talking about the Thanksgiving Day games. Like if the Thursday night game really sucked and one of the day games was good, I think you should be able to flex one of them.
But you
Do you think
but they always play the same time.
I know
that's
that.
Can't
tradition.
change
I know
like-
that. It was. I know, and I was also thinking. Do you think that actually, that the prime time game on Thanksgiving is it? Would you consider it the 12 o'clock, the 4 o'clock, or the 8 o'clock? What's the prime time best game?
See, usually it's the Dallas in my head because it's like the way I think of it is like you obviously start your day with the Lions, and now everything's changed because the Lions growing up were always bad. Now they're like the best team, so the Lions are good. And then to me it was always because you kind of like eat, and then like at least how my families go eat a little later, it'd be like eat, and then kind of like as almost the Cowboys game was starting,
That's what my family
like
does
kind of like
too.
eat, and it's like Cowboys game basically like just started like middle first quarter.
Yep.
I would say the Cowboys is the prime time game.
I think so too. I think just given
Also,
And I think
maybe-
that the night game has been around so
It's only
short
been a few years.
Yeah.
period of time that
not part of
it's
the
not
real
part of
tradition
the
yet.
tradition yet.
when did it start?
Not 10.
like-
No, we won
I
that.
was
Probably
gonna say,
15
like,
years ago.
Jets played on there.
The Butt
yeah.
Fumble game was a
Buffalo.
Thanksgiving.
That's the first one I can really remember.
That was back in 2009,
Oh,
11,
12.
12,
12.
12. You're right.
What
'cause it was
happened in
after
12
the-
that you remember?
I was working there.
The curse.
Had
That's
people
when
come-
the curse started.
What?
That's when the curse of Boston
That's when
started.
the curse started. People coming up to me in the fucking club section saying, I want my money back. Give me my PSLs back. You ruined my Thanksgiving. I'm like,
God.
you ruined my Thanksgiving, buddy.
Surprised you weren't better at this job.
What?
Surprised you weren't better at this job. You're telling people you're ruining my Thanksgiving.
No,
Your
I'm
customers.
just saying.
I know.
You know, in my head.
It's a shitty thing for a customer to say to you.
Exactly. Yeah, I ate it. You had to eat it. That
You
was
do.
the tough part. All right, college. Where do you want to start? Ole Miss with a huge win against fucking
Dominant,
Georgia.
a dominant win. The scene there, Ole Miss is fucking awesome. I'll say that too. Great college town. Bar shit was sick.
Punk.
Yeah, Pup Punk was fucking incredible. Shout out those guys. That bar this bar library, insane.
Told you it was great, right?
Phenomenal college bar. It's like you walk in and you have like this front part, and you think that's all it is. I remember looking, there's like a rooftop, and I'm like, are they performing upstairs? The guy kind of brings me to the back. You just go in. There's just like it's like woof. You just go through. It's like this massive room just opens up. A couple floors. It's fantastic.
What were you out there for?
I was there I remember I did something with Minty or something. I was like 3 years ago. I forget
really?
what it was, and it was just a fantastic time.
It's great.
Maybe it was like 5 years ago.
I got saucy on Friday night. Was going to lose, but yeah, Pup Punk was great. But they came out. It was weird because it was kind of like a muddy, like rainy-ish day on Saturday. I mean, they just kicked their ass. Georgia's just not that good.
I agree with that.
Georgia's weird though because I still believe they could all of a sudden they could show up this week. They play Tennessee.
Yeah, that line is
And just
10.
like
10.
If you told me they just went out and beat Tennessee by like 20 this week, I wouldn't even be like I wouldn't be shocked because they've had some of these weird moments like second half of Clemson, like the Texas game, where they come out and they look amazing, they look elite, they look unstoppable. But then they've had way too many of these games where they look like shit. I mean, Ole Miss's defense showed the fuck out. They were swarming all over the place. Back in that offense could not do anything. And Darla, good. I'm gonna tell you, when he got hurt for a second, the backup looked really good.
He did look good.
He came in and looked great, drove him right down the field, scored a touchdown. That was a game like Ole Miss needed to win, like Lane Kiffin needed to win. They're back in the playoff mix now. Obviously, the playoff rankings, the second ones will go out. They go live like 8:30 tonight.
Probably tonight, right before champions.
We'll be doing
or
Mr.
halftime
Roughness
of
live, like
Champions.
right after, like when they announce them, we'll be live doing Mr. Roughness. But yeah, I imagine after that win, they'll have to be like in the top 12. I would think.
Yeah.
or at least like right there on the outside. I think they put themselves in a spot where if they win out, they'll make the playoff.
The big picture thing for the SEC is now it's a logjam of standings.
Crazy.
It's
there's
absolutely
there's some crazy scenarios out there.
Dude, Tennessee is 5-1.
Okay.
A&M is 5-1. Texas is 4-1. Georgia's 5-2. Ole Miss is 4-2. Bama's 4-2. Missouri is 3-2. LSU is 3-2. My bottom two are a little bit down the list, but there's an opportunity where Tennessee plays Georgia. If Georgia wins, Tennessee gets their second loss. So now you're holding Tennessee at 5-2, Georgia at 5-2, along with A&M at 5-1, Ole Miss. All these fucking teams,
all jumbled in.
All jumbled in.
So
A&M plays Texas. Texas plays A&M and Kentucky. Ole Miss plays Florida and Mississippi State. Ole Miss could probably win out. Bama's probably going to win out. So they're going to be holding two. You're going to have potentially three teams.
You
guys are so down on Tennessee, though.
The two major things that I think would make this like an insane, like, what do we do with the situation, is Georgia beating Tennessee,
right,
and then Texas losing to Texas A&M in A&M, because then there would legitimately be there'd be like 5 or 6 SEC teams that are all just 10-2 on the season.
You can leave it. It's not
crazy. Like, what it'd be like? What do you even do? Like, what do you do if?
And they all haven't played each other. This is that's what these guys wanted. They wanted these big conferences, and now it's like you don't get a true marking anymore. You don't have divisions. You don't have.
But there is a true, because there's some, for example, like Mizzou's schedule is a joke. Like, if Mizzou is anywhere near the playoff, like, get them the fuck out of my face. They're anywhere near like in playoff contention. LSU, same thing. LSU is gone because they have an out of conference loss too, so they have 3. Like, they're not LSU's not.
I'm just saying for the SEC itself.
But I'm saying legitimately, there's like 5. There's like if Georgia beats Tennessee and Texas A&M beats Texas. You have A&M, and A&M would only have 1 conference loss.
They would be in. A&M would be the number 1.
You'd have A&M, Texas, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Bama, and Tennessee. Who like all would have like real like we should be in the playoff arguments.
All right,
they should also all be in the conference championship.
6 of them.
They should all be in the conference championship game too.
It's gonna A&M
all fighting for that.
It'd be A&M and then one of which I don't know.
Any one of them. I have no idea how the tiebreaker.
Why is Georgia favored by 10 against Tennessee this week?
Because I think you're gonna smash them.
Why?
That's a big.
Explain to me why Tennessee's bad then.
So Tennessee's defense is
coming back.
You said they're 5-1. So
Tennessee's defense is really, really good. Like really good.
All right.
I think Nico's like their offense is mid, like very mid. So I think having to come to Athens in a game where this is like Georgia's season is now on the line. Like Georgia can't lose another game. If they lose a game, they're toast.
Okay.
Like this is a Georgia team that you've seen like their ceiling is really high still, but their floor is they're inconsistent. Their floor is lower than it's been in probably the last like 5 years. I'm surprised, but the line I thought would be like a little shorter. I didn't think it was going to be like 9. I thought it'd be like 5.5, like 6.
I'm seeing 10.
It could be of 10 now, especially if
showing right now on DraftKings. It's 10 right now. I guess
overglazed. It was crazy the amount of like talking heads that were coming out being like, "I told you, Nico was going to be he's the greatest quarterback." Blah blah blah. Like he's
putting up 50 on UT Martin.
Yeah, because they smoked Kent State and Chattanooga. Kent State is legitimately the worst.
They're
FBS
catching
team.
30 this week against somebody in the MAC.
They're losing games. They're losing games in the MAC by like 50 points.
They're catching 30 in a conference game.
Atrocious.
In the MAC.
We were ready to like Nico give him. We were handing him the Heisman.
Yeah, that's what we do though in college football. You overreact. Like you can't get mad about that.
But yeah, no, their offense is not very good. Defense is very good. That's what's kind of carried them.
So then isn't 10? If the defense is that good, then like 10 seems like a giant number.
It's a big number, but it's a number to me that like I see that line and I'm like, oh, like you almost like that's a bet Georgia line when I see it because I'm just like this, and it's just again like Georgia has been a team when they need it, they get it. Like the Texas game was kind of like that. Like they needed one, had to have it. They go out there, they smashed Texas at Texas. I think there's kind of like a similar spot where even they're at home, they need one really bad. Kirby's just been like good in these spots, get them ready. Yeah, I don't know. I just Tennessee to me, like if they can't get stops, like they're gonna get killed here.
That's the game of the week, right? 7:30 start.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna score. Like I don't think Tennessee's gonna score a lot.
That's a big game.
Georgia, if they lose, they're done.
Right.
Season's over. Like everything's on the line for them.
Guess what? They're gonna win.
Yeah. Who do you think it's gonna be?
I think they smash.
Who do you think it's gonna be? So do you think A&M's gonna be Texas?
I think they can.
Where's
I think
that
it's
game?
at A&M. So I think it's winnable for sure. Texas has been inconsistent.
Credit to A&M, man. Like
They hung around. If they killed themselves losing that Notre Dame game early.
yeah.
Notre Dame helped themselves a ton.
And Notre Dame,
time,
that was Notre Dame's whole season.
Huge win.
That was their whole
Really,
season.
Notre Dame's like
They're in
it's really Notre Dame's only
It's
marquee
their
win.
only even like decent win.
Yeah.
because they're USC stinks. So I think they play USC, right?
Yeah, they play USC and like Florida State's. They're
Florida
both
State they
awful.
already beat.
Which
Wow,
They
Colorado
beat
plus 100.
52-3.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, man. Colorado's got an interesting.
They're right on the
They
line
have a real
there.
path. If they just like win, they have, like, especially now that Iowa State lost twice. That was huge for them. That like opened the path even more for them to like
Honestly?
get in the Big 12 title game.
Notre Dame's gonna have a good win against Army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they beat Army.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. If they're gonna Army has a bye,
I want Army to beat them so bad. That'll be so funny.
but still it'll be a good
So
win,
funny.
right? They'll be ranked. They'll be still ranked. Army.
No, they lose,
no,
right?
they
No, I'm saying that when they play them, they'll be ranked.
Sure. Yeah. They play this week.
No.
Or no, it's next week. Next week.
Yeah, Notre Dame plays Virginia this
Next
week.
week,
and then they
that's
have a
right,
bye.
next week,
Army
next
has a
week.
bye this
Next
week.
So if I just want to make this 100% clear. If Georgia loses this game, Tennessee, they have no chance of
They
making
have
the playoffs.
3 losses.
None.
No
Zero.
chance. They would have 3
Zero.
losses.
They're
They would have lost to.
they're plus 500 right now.
Yeah, they would have lost to
playoffs?
Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they lose any game, they're cooked.
But the money,
500?
Georgia. I'm sorry, minus 500. Excuse me, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. They're still like people.
Sorry,
still
minus
think
500 to make the playoff, right?
Yeah,
Georgia's still people
because if
still
they win,
think
because
they're
if they win out,
They're a 10-point
misspoke.
favorite in this
because
game.
they win out, they're going to be big favorites in
The
every
money
game.
line for this game is minus 375. You understand what I'm saying? Like that doesn't equate. So
It's just that
is there some sort of backwards path they could get in?
I mean, I guess it would take like an insane amount. Like
All right.
with the logjam in the SEC, I just don't see it. And with the Big Ten, like Oregon, like is like a done deal. Ohio State's like basically a done deal. Like
Yeah.
they could even lose to Indiana, they'd still be in.
Right.
Like Indiana, as long as they don't lose by 50 to Ohio State, like they're in. Yeah, Penn State, like in, like they don't have really like they're in, like they're gonna have just one loss to Ohio State, they're gonna be in.
I don't think it, but my reasoning would be if they beat Tennessee, they're going to be like minus 10,000 against fucking UMass and Georgia Tech. If they lose the SEC title game and something happens in the other conferences, I think they could get in with 3 losses.
But
It really depends on how it all shakes out.
But the SEC title game to me doesn't like count as like a third loss in the sense that like all these other teams are just sitting on the sideline not playing
Right.
like the best.
Playing an extra game.
Yeah, I don't. To me,
Yeah,
that's
so
like
what are
I
they
meant
doing
3
with
losses
that,
before
though?
like the
Okay.
conference.
What are they
title game.
doing with that? Because like that is like so.
I don't think it.
so
I don't think
unfair
it can
to
hurt you.
You don't think it can?
But I'm saying they earn that spot like over you. Like how can that hurt you?
That's what I'm
against another
saying. But I
team?
do think
They
it
gotta be
might-
fair about that.
I don't
That's
think
tough.
I don't know if they will be. I think they might hurt some more people than. Which is fucked
I don't
up.
think it can. I don't think they can do it like that. Like I don't think they
Is
can.
there like a scenario we can think of right now of like Colorado gets to the Big 12 championship, right?
The only one
And
that you want
they
to
lose that. Does the person that they jumped in the standings get over them?
Where it's really close.
Colorado, you're saying.
Yeah. Like
But-
these
but
fringe
no, but-
teams.
But they win. They get like a top 4 seed. Like they're
Saying
getting
if they
3 or
lose
4.
though.
Oh, if they lose, they have no shot. But they
who
never had a
else?
shot. Like they. But like
the
they wouldn't.
SEC
But they wouldn't get
championship
in like if they wasn't for winning the conference.
So
Like Colorado, they'd have no shot if they didn't like
so who would they play in the championship right now?
probably BYU.
So if
Complicated,
BYU
yeah.
loses, they're still in. If they go undefeated to that point against Colorado beats
See,
BYU.
that's a great question.
So that's where
that's a great question.
Why did they get? Will they get penalized for making the conference championship?
No. The BYU. That's a great way to argue it because I think you'd kind of have to, if they lose a close game to Colorado, for example. I think you'd have to put them in if they ran the table in the regular season. And because them too, they actually have beaten like top 20 teams. Like they beat SMU,
They beat Kansas State.
beat Kansas State. Like SMU, who knows?
That's
SMU
it, though. This is not a-
SMU might fuck around and win the ACC.
Yeah,
Like, they have actual wins.
BYU's
to hang
schedule
their hat
is
on.
not super impressive though. Southern Illinois, SMU, Wyoming, Kansas State, Baylor, at Arizona, or versus Arizona, Oklahoma State, UCF, Utah, Kansas, Arizona State, who's pretty good, and Houston. But that's not necessarily like a murderer's row.
No. But I'm saying
That's
if
just a state of the
but
Big
I'm saying
12.
undefeated
Yeah, undefeated. They'll be
and
in.
make a top 12. Like that, it'd be
They're gonna
hard
make
to
for
leave
some
them
hard
out.
choices. They're gonna make for some hard choices.
Well, that would get nutty because then you have the SEC teams being like, what the fuck? Like you have like a Tennessee sitting there, for example, being like, I beat Bama. I beat the only games I lost were to Georgia.
Right.
And I lost to Arkansas. Which Arkansas, that hurt them because that's a bad loss. Arkansas is mid. But I mean, that would cause the most chaos. Something like that happening.
How many SEC teams can get in?
I think up to 5 probably max. But even probably 5 max, because I think there's a world where you have your group of 5, you have just your Big 12 champion.
Who's probably in? Oregon, Ohio State, the SEC champ. Let's say it's Texas for now, or Texas A&M.
Sure, but Texas could play their way out.
I'm just saying it's one of them. You got an SEC team in for sure.
But there's going to be guaranteed 4 of both basically.
Notre Dame's probably in.
Notre Dame you pretty much can shoe in there. See, that Notre Dame is
State
kind of the
Penn's
wrench
probably in.
Because when you have a group of 5, you have one group of 5, 1 Big 12, 1 ACC. That only leaves 9 spots.
So who's
and you have Notre Dame, so that basically leaves 8 spots. So pretty much 4 and 4, or 5 and 3. If Indiana were get smoked by Ohio State and then they fucked Indiana.
I think you have 7 spots because you have State Penn pretty much guaranteed in.
But I'm saying I'm saying with those with Notre Dame, with those 4, those are locks. So you only have 8 spots really,
Right.
for the SEC and the Big Ten, as long as Notre Dame doesn't fuck up. Which at this point, if they just beat.
I'm going to tell you this right now: Indiana's not getting in. Telling you right this second.
But the only way that happens is if they lose by 30 to Ohio
Who's
State.
not getting in? You don't think Indiana's getting in?
No, because Ohio State is going to smoke them.
I think they're pretty good. I think Indiana's good. I don't think we're gonna annihilate them.
I think you're going
we win.
to win by at least. I think you win by 3 touchdowns.
But see, to me, if we beat them by 7, and you can't leave them out.
Well, do they have any other games besides you?
Not really good ones, to be honest. Their schedule ended up being easier than everyone would have thought it was.
All right, let's say
play Penn State, right?
No, they don't play Penn State.
The Big Ten.
No, that's
the Big Ten sucks.
That's the comparison.
Ohio State and Oregon are really good.
State Penn lost by 7
Penn
to
State's
you,
good.
correct?
You have 3 teams.
Yeah, Penn State's solid.
You lost by
I think
7.
Indiana's good. I legit think Indiana's good.
You won by
guess-
7.
I guess we'll see. I just don't think so.
I just feel like they're kind of. It's not. I feel like it's not really fair to them right now. Where they smashed literally everyone they played. They have one game they skate by against Michigan. Now everyone's oh, they stink now.
No. I just.
They've literally dominated everyone.
I don't think it's anything against them. I just I watched before. I actually bet Michigan because I thought that was going to be closer, and it was. But I just think that when they play Ohio State, where's the game?
In Columbus.
I think they got.
Noon
Well, let's
kickoff.
say they do play
No
close.
chance.
Next week.
Let's say they do play close.
23rd.
They have to make if they get close.
Let's say they
ahead's
do
like
play
9.5.
close. The State Penn lost to Ohio
9.5.
State by what? 7?
Yeah.
7.
Alt line.
Lost by 7.
Yeah.
If Indiana loses by 7 to 10 points to Ohio State, but it's a very close game,
They have to be in.
Have to be in.
Have to be in, I think.
you think they're in over Penn State?
No. I think they
State Penn.
both would be in.
So you think 4 people from Big Ten get in?
No.
Yes.
If it's
Yes.
yeah,
That's
who would
right.
you
I
put
think
in?
yes.
Indiana or State Penn?
Both.
State
They
Penn,
both.
for sure.
Just both.
You don't see a world where it comes down to that last spot for the
State
two
Penn
of them?
has
I think
One loss?
SEC gets you got to cut team 5.
Yeah.
I don't think you can cut both of them with.
All right, but let's in this scenario. In this scenario,
the SEC just isn't as good this year.
I agree with that.
They don't have a foot to stand on, being oh, we played this tougher schedule. No, you didn't.
but if it comes down to
The only teams that can say that are Georgia played Georgia played one of the hardest
Yeah.
schedules in the history of college football this year.
they played,
They've had to
Clemson.
play 3 top 10 teams on the road. That's crazy.
Georgia?
Yeah, insane. The fact that they now then after the gauntlet they went through, they have to now play Tennessee is insane.
If it comes down to that last spot, though, who would you take? Indiana or State Penn?
And Indiana loses by 7.
7 to 10.
I'd say my opinion is Indiana. If you lose to 7 on the road at Ohio
They
State,
blew out
compared to
UCLA
Penn
and State Penn played UCLA
What did Penn
close.
State lose by?
7.
7.
At home.
It was at Penn State.
But
Yeah.
I'm saying that though, you're
Yeah.
Indiana on the road at Ohio State losing by 7.
I guess, but they'll put in Penn State.
They will put
if
in
it's
Penn State.
between
It's the
Penn
truth.
State
They
and
will.
Indiana, they'll go Penn
They
State
would.
no matter what.
I just don't think that'll be what if the games go down like that.
Why? The tradition of Penn State's football
Penn State's
It's-
compared to Indiana's football?
I mean, it's why Notre Dame they get to lose to fucking Northern Illinois and get in the playoff.
Why do you think I took Notre Dame?
They're
to win
Notre
the-
Dame, so
I took Notre Dame to win the championship this year because I saw this. It was a 1-game schedule. It was literally.
Yeah, but Ev, you could say
they
that.
got-
That Notre Dame, they gross and they lost to Northern Illinois. But they also could have beaten the SEC champion. That's a world that we live in.
But
Notre
also,
Dame could have
but what
beaten
do
the
you
SEC.
say, though? What do you-
Hold on,
Hold on,
let's
I
come
agree with
let's talk about that real quick. A&M may win the SEC. All
right.
Let's speak reality.
They're going to be in the. There's a chance they could be in the game.
They might be.
But
If they beat Texas, they will be.
It's getting pretty late here, and they're in this conversation. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you. I'm on Notre Dame, but Texas A&M is a totally different team now than they were the first game, and that's
Agreed.
what is annoying about some things about college football is like Texas A&M's. Notre Dame's Texas A&M win looks so much better now than we didn't know how it was going to look right away. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And it's just like
And there's no way of changing that. These non-conference games,
Yeah.
you're not going to play them late in the season.
Yeah, you can't.
I think you should play those in college basketball. In college football, you're only really going to play them early.
Yeah,
you
'cause
play
you can't
play
fuck
some
that
of the
up.
rivalry games like Florida State is always Thanksgiving weekend. Notre Dame, SEC, USC. You get a handful of non-conference games, but for the most part, you're getting the conference run all the way through.
So you guys are saying you think it's
How many spots are there?
4 Big Ten, 4 SEC.
No, I think you got to do it this way.
That's what I think. No, I think I think it's gonna be 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC, Notre Dame,
Boise State.
Notre Dame, like Boise probably, or like Army if Army was able. Well, Army could throw the wrench into it because Army beats Navy. If Army beats every like SEC fan should be, or those SEC teams should be rooting for Army this week.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, next week. Because if Army beats Notre Dame's out. That opens up a full spot basically.
Is Army getting?
But they would take Boise's spot potentially. But that's the problem. They'd be like fighting with
the
Boise
highest
for a
rated.
spot.
It's the highest rated group of 5.
Yeah. Would Army get in over Boise State?
I
You know
think
who's-
I think they could.
That'd be crazy.
Because it would change their ranking entirely. If they beat Notre Dame, it would change everything.
Imagine Army is.
I also think it's.
Last-
I also it's at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They go
That's a
to
huge win.
South Bend and win and are undefeated.
Oh, it's great. That was
Insane.
yeah. That's,
Honestly, they could be in a crazy. Like, now we're talking like nuts. We're like, is there a path where like Army and Boise get in if that happens?
That's
Which
kind of.
there would be potentially a path.
Yeah.
No, but you want to know what the problem is for Army though? And I think this is like the sleeping giant that no one's talking about. Blutman's been like mentioning a little bit. Tulane is really good.
I'll give you
They've
another
been
one off the grid.
They've been blitzing. They've been blitzing people. Their 2 losses are close games to Oklahoma and Kansas State early in the year. They would be who Army would play in the like AAC title game, and I think Tulane would hammer them. I think that's their biggest problem.
But
Tulane's really good.
But why? But we just went over this of saying like why they get penalized for that conference championship.
But that's
but that's group of 5.
That's
You're only
group of
getting
5.
one
It's
bid.
the only you can only get in.
What's
You
Boise?
can't
Who's
when you're-
Boise State going to play?
UNLV
West.
or
West UNLV was like been pretty good.
Probably going to beat them. Okay.
But they already played them. They beat them. They played them in a good game.
I'll give you one that's a weirdo.
Sorry, just found this. Indiana's a bigger favorite to make the playoff than Notre Dame.
Because Notre Dame is they could lose to Army. I think that's
Yeah.
part of
And
it.
Penn State's minus 1,000.
I think it's just
Penn State's
literally.
going to be in. Like they don't play anyone.
It's just because Indiana has only one hard game left and they're allowed to lose.
what is Army to get in? Is that not listed?
New York, you might have
We're in
trouble.
New York.
Oh, that's right.
West
Yeah, like
I'll give you-
to me, this is why the playoff is kind of cool, though. The idea that like Army could get to the playoffs,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
obviously that never would happen if it didn't expand. That's pretty fucking wild. As a super casual like me, I'm like I would like totally watch that and be like really invested and be like, this is crazy.
Yeah. But then sometimes it's they'll get in and it's like, okay, now we understand why they didn't get
Right,
in.
and that's fair.
only
But
thing that-
isn't it cool that it could happen though?
1,000%.
But I have way less of a problem with them making a 5-12 game than I do when there's
Yeah.
only 4 teams.
Yeah.
You know who else is on the radar? Weirdly, I don't know what the rules are because they're not they're not in a real conference.
I know you're going to say Wazoo.
Wazoo is fucking 8-1 and 18 in the AP poll.
Their only loss was
If Boise
Boise's the only loss.
So they'd have to. That'd be weird because if Boise loses, could they jump Boise that many spots? I don't think so with a head-to-head loss. You're right.
Probably not.
Correction, too. On the Notre Dame game, Nicky C wanted to chime in on this. He said that the game's at Yankee Stadium, not South Bend.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yes.
No,
Oh
good.
yeah, I think Frank's going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow, so, all right, a little neutral helps Army. All right.
Helps, it's-
Neutral, I
yeah.
like that. We like that.
Yeah.
Does it help Army?
I don't think. I think it,
Notre Dame beat the
I mean, it's
balls
just
off of
not
Navy.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame beat the
Definitely helps
balls
them.
off of Navy.
It definitely helps.
Actually,
not
no,
being in
Dukes.
there.
I know what you're going to argue, that you're going to get a more ruckus Notre Dame fan in Yankee Stadium. All these fucking Irish.
But I mean,
all
Army's
I'm
Irish
all I'm
scumbags
thinking about
around
is
New
this
York.
guy
New
right
York
here.
is Notre
I'm
Dame.
thinking about
An hour
this guy.
away,
New York is Notre Dame.
I'm thinking about 2004 Bosco right here.
You're shipping
going to Yankee Stadium.
You're shipping all the people at West Point to Army Stadium.
yeah.
Better be.
And it's an hour and a half away.
But
I'll tell
Bosco
you,
makes the
I
point.
the time
I almost want to try to go to that game, kind of.
I do too.
About the time
Bosco
difference.
makes the point though that a lot of East Coast got I think a lot of people grew up
New
Notre
York
Dame
team.
fans in the East Coast. I think
We
a lot
have
of Notre
Nick
Dame fans.
Mulcahy.
No,
Yeah,
you're
everyone.
going to get your
I've told this story.
You're going to get your
We all
most
grew up watching
scumbag
Notre Dame.
fan.
They're not on TV.
my
They're the only
brother's
team on TV.
My
Tanks
brother's a
going?
huge Notre Dame fan.
The
and
only
it's-
team on TV.
it's
My
because
grandfather
there's
watched them. My
no one
father
else.
watched them. We watched them.
Yeah, my grandpa loved Rudy. We watched Notre Dame, and that's exactly what I just didn't get the bug.
I know we've been talking
That's
about
going to
this.
be a great game, though. Plus, there's no fifth inning at that Yankee Stadium game. So
We've been
Yeah,
talking about
it's
this game
interesting,
for like
man.
20 minutes. When is it?
That's a good joke, Clobber.
A week.
thank you.
A
Appreciate
week?
that.
I'm gonna look
It
at
won't
it.
be the last time you have a fifth inning
What'd you say,
callback in the show.
Dukes?
I said I know we've been talking about this game for 20 minutes, but when is it?
We've done college football play.
It's 2
It's
weeks.
2 weeks.
2
A week
weeks.
from
Yeah,
Saturday.
I'm gonna look at that.
Oh,
Actually. That's pretty
no,
sick.
that's not.
Georgia Tech exposes
before Thanksgiving.
Georgia Tech exposes Miami.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
So what is the ACC standings now?
I think they're
Miami's
now
still-
officially a one bid league. I think
Definitely a one bid.
pretty much as long as they don't drop another one, it'll be SMU, Miami. I guess Clemson's still in the
Clemson's
mix
still sitting there.
because their losses to Georgia was the other loss. So I guess
Clemson's still sitting there.
it
At
depends
6-1.
it depends what the tiebreakers are because I think they're all gonna. Or SMU has no conference losses.
SMU is
Because I
5-0.
think it's only lost to BYU.
And who do they have coming up?
So if SMU wins out,
SMU goes Boston College, Virginia, Cal. So probably win out.
they should win out. But those are like not easy games, but they should win out.
And then Clemson finishes with just Pittsburgh now. So Clemson could be sitting at 7-1.
They're gonna smash Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh sucks.
And then Miami goes
no.
Macon,
It's
Syracuse.
too
Nah, it's
early.
already
It's also
over.
Virginia.
It's over.
Yeah,
It's also
come on,
Virginia at
no,
home.
kicking a man when he's down.
I mean, it's just a guy. You said that I tried to
know.
warn you.
Oh well, yeah, but it was fun.
72-1. It was fun. I
72-1
get it.
was
I went on a little ride.
What do they do?
See, it would have been fun if it got to. I was thinking it was going to possibly get to this point, and then they'd get smashed. But I know SMU was good. I
They
bet
beat SMU. Oh man,
Oh, that
I
would
would
have
have
been
been.
fun.
if they hadn't lost by 40.
What do they? What do they do with Miami and Clemson? What's that tiebreaker?
I don't know. We have to figure that out.
They don't
I'm
play
not
each
sure what-
other.
I'm not sure what it is.
That's where it gets hairy. Like one of those teams is going, one of those teams isn't.
I wonder. Does Clemson get hurt for Georgia? I don't know how they can really, but has nothing to do with the conference.
They didn't play head to head. I know that. Miami.
Those are tough for them because they got smashed. I mean, Louisville beat the brakes off of them too.
Yeah.
Clemson's fucking frauds. I feel dumb for like buying. Like I was starting to believe in them again, right as they just showed me I should have never. Why I didn't believe in them in the first place. I didn't believe in them beginning of the year. Clemson or Georgia game, I was like, oh, yep, that's why. Then they kind of like bought me back in a little bit, where I was like, they're just killing everybody. This is what good teams do. They kill bad teams. Then Louisville, who I think is fraudulent as well. I mean,
I like Louisville.
I just think they're
They're an okay
Like,
team.
they're
Yeah,
just
exactly.
Like you can't get smashed by them at home and think you're like a contender. I was starting to buy in they were like a contender for real.
Yeah.
They stink.
Talk to me about the end of the BYU Utah game for anyone who didn't see it.
Oh, my
'cause I didn't
God.
see it.
BYU had no business winning that game.
None.
I didn't
Zero.
see it.
Dude, watch the highlight. It's fucking crazy.
You see the thing with the AD?
Yeah, I saw the AD come in,
Utah's
and
AD
that's
got
what
fined
turned me
because
on
He
to
was
it.
like the refs really ripped this game. So
That's what turned me on to it. He comes in and goes, "This game was stolen from us."
It was.
So on the fourth down,
gotta watch the highlights.
there's like a minute and change left. They have fourth and goal. They have fourth down from like inside their own like 10. They run a play, they get sacked. They call a defensive holding that like extends the drive. They end up going like down the field, kick a few first downs, kick a field goal like at the buzzer, like a 45-yarder probably. And it was one of those you knew because they showed the kicker when he's like getting ready. He's smiling. I'm like, oh, this guy's nails. I'm like, there's no way he's acting like this. Just buried it. But they did kind of get fucked. There was a few calls that were like
they sacked
kinda
him on
sketchy.
the one.
Yeah, it was almost
about to be a
It
safety.
was almost a safety.
yeah.
Like leaned out just barely on the half-yard line, got out, and then the defensive holding was ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, you thought it was a good call?
It was like it was tough to call it. There was tough. It was
That's
like
what I'm saying.
because it was like he did hold him, but it was tough. Like it was such like a game-changing call. Oh man, it was.
Are we allowed to say that like what the shirt is we have and everything? That's such a great.
BYU?
Yeah, you could say BYU.
Of course we can.
Right?
We've been saying it all season.
All right, good. I was making sure.
Not necessarily I've just been saying it all season.
It's a great. It's
and the thing, I think the important thing, he like Retzlaff,
calls it.
he loves it.
Yeah.
He's taking pictures with the fans with it. Now we're selling him and kicking money back to him.
Yeah, no, good.
Oh, all right.
Good. Buy the shirt.
BYU, he's one of three Jewish students on BYU's campus.
Oh wow.
One of them happens to be the starting quarterback, who's having an unbelievable season. Good for
him.
I still don't think they're very good.
And their best basketball player is a Russian.
Shut out. No, they're a fun team. They just find ways to win, man. They got a little like voodoo magic. They're very well coached. They have a good defense. They just keep getting by a few of these games like the skin of their teeth. They're just getting by. They keep being in these spots where it's like an auto. Like you almost like have to bet the other side. Like the line's so obvious. They got another one this week. They're only 3-point favorites at home against Kansas. Kansas has like 3 wins. And they've been playing a lot better lately. They smashed Iowa State this week, so they should be taken seriously.
I got a alternate angle of this defensive holding. It looks like defensive holding.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think like it's the call. You would make the call in the middle. If it happens in the second quarter, I think the call is made. So, but I understand if you're Utah, you're like, what the fuck? Like I get it. I totally get it. Because that was the game. Like the game was over. They sack on 4th down. It's game over.
Yeah. Bama beats the brakes off of LSU. Colorado with a comeback win against Texas Tech.
Great
Bama's
win.
definitely in, right?
What?
Bama's definitely in.
Yeah. So
Oklahoma and Auburn.
yeah, I think yes. Like that. Those
Auburn always you never know.
Auburn you never know. But
it's
yeah,
still,
if they win out, they're in.
is that Auburn?
I don't know.
I think it's at Bama.
I only wrote down their opponents.
Because last year was the 4th and 31. I think that was at Auburn. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I
I
think
have to double check that, but I think it's in. It's like, if Bama wins out, they're in, and I think they're dangerous.
But that's what's going to be crazy is they're going
It's at
to
Alabama, correct.
they're going to finish 4th in the SEC.
Hey, Mercer's 9-1. They better watch out, Mercer. I was just Mercer 9-1
for Mercer,
Maybe they're getting in.
CS playoff contender.
They lose too. Samford 50.
Bama would have the tiebreaker over Georgia. They didn't play Ole Miss.
Nope.
Did Bama play Texas?
What?
Bama play Texas?
Yeah. Wait, no.
No, they didn't. Right?
I didn't play Tech. No, last
Yeah,
year.
there's a lot of tiebreakers. They didn't play A&M.
They lost to Tennessee.
Bama didn't play A&M.
No, they lost to Tennessee though, so they don't have that one.
Yeah, so it's a logjam.
You guys say Mercer. When the Celtics missed out on Tim Duncan, they drafted Ron Mercer and Chauncey Billups.
Yeah, fuck Mercer.
Yeah, they.
Chauncey Billups had a great career.
Yeah, and of course Rick Pitino fucking traded him.
Yeah.
That fucking piece of shit, Rick Pitino. He trades him a half a year into the season.
Hall of Famer.
Mercer.
I know.
Mercer also.
You guys wonder why I hate Rick Pitino? Like, it's a real
We
thing.
can move past it.
Trying to get my jab
We
in.
can move past it.
Mercer beat dude.
There's a real animosity toward Rick Pitino. I really don't like him.
Can I tell you guys a crazy stat?
And anyone who is a Celtics fan is my age would hate him too. I've talked to Gaz. I bet Gaz hates him.
I have to give
Talk to-
credit to what? I don't.
just-
care
I'm
about
just
you,
getting
Rick
mad.
Pitino. I like Rick Pitino. You're not gonna ever.
do
This
too.
whole crew loves Rick Pitino, especially.
I'm a
the guy in
Celtics
the-
fan. I love Rick Pitino.
guy in
My
the
childhood
Oh,
back.
was great.
that's crazy. Then that's
My childhood
You
was
just
great.
don't know anything. And
No, I get it. It just
just
didn't.
don't
It didn't
know.
It's an
affect.
insane thing to say.
It
He
did-
kicked Red Auerbach out of the team presidency.
It didn't affect my life
Yeah.
in the
You don't love
slightest.
Red Auerbach?
To be honest, like
That
I
sucks, man.
I mean, I appreciate what he did for the Celtics. Like, when did he die? Like 3 years after fucking Rick Pitino kicked him out.
A few years out.
See, I don't care. I'm
But
sorry.
that shit, isn't that mean though? Like some old guy, like he's a legend. Like let him be the president. Why do you need to have that title? Why do you have such a big ego? The fuck do you think you are? Plus, you were a fucking washout in the NBA.
All right, we gotta move past.
Yeah,
Rick
I mean,
Pitino.
again, it didn't
We
affect
don't
my
know.
child. It didn't affect my childhood at all.
I know. I'm just saying.
We gotta move past Rick Pitino.
Shout out Ricky P.
Oh, don't shout out. Shout down.
I'm shouting out Ricky
Shout
P.
in, Rick
Shout out
Pitino.
Rick
I'm going to
Pitino.
He's a nice
Jersey
guy
and
when I
placing
met
another
him.
bet on
Oh,
St.
nice
John's
guy
to
when
make the
you
Final
met
Four
him.
now.
Let me tell you
It
this.
was great when I met shook his hand.
You know what he wasn't great at the press conference after he quit because he said he was going to come back to Boston, give a press conference, never did.
The Boston Celtics.
It's fucking cowardly. He still never addressed
Shut
it.
the fuck up about Rick
I
Pitino.
don't like him.
He has had like 6 jobs since then.
Who cares?
Yeah, no wonder. Yeah.
He's done pretty good.
What national titles?
Yeah, he have a job at Perkins. With that waitress. What?
Well, that national title was vacated.
That was Tiger Woods.
No, I'm sorry. Wasn't he also at a Perkins? No, it was Italian. Sorry, it was an Italian restaurant.
I don't know.
Wasn't it an Italian restaurant?
No,
we don't know about that. We don't
you
talk
think-
about that,
can't
huh?
talk
Oh,
about
all right.
that.
Oh, we
Are you
can't talk about
Are you
that.
talking about the basically like the booster's wife.
With his
that he
coach,
fucked
wasn't
and,
his
like, got,
assistant
like-
coach's wife?
Yeah, something like that.
A real good guy. Stand up.
No, I mean, like, dude, he's just
Fine.
like
Just give you a Celtic stat.
The
Fine.
Boston
just
Celtics
horny.
have a better chance to three-peat than the Cavaliers have to win the title this
Yeah,
year.
as it should be.
Yeah, accurate.
That's crazy. The Cavaliers are
Cavaliers are a
You
good
don't win
team.
it.
though.
You don't win a title.
I
in the
don't
regular
believe in
season.
the
three-peat
Cavs
is 2 more years. It's
Don't
not
win-
just this year.
Cavs are like that Hawks
The
team.
Celtics are.
It's not just this year. That's 2 years.
I didn't realize
That's
the stat.
that's still fine.
No, but that. Come on.
No,
That's-
the Cavs are like that Hawks team a couple was it 10 years
I
ago.
agree. Not that crazy.
Fraud
Hey,
team.
but we're not talking about the Celtics winning this year.
I know.
Also next year. That's not knowing injuries. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
You have to admit it's a little crazy.
I don't think so. I just really don't believe in the Cavs.
Me neither.
Like another team, I would say it's crazy.
It's not about the Cavs. Is it?
No, it is. No, it is about the
It's
Cavs.
not really about
no,
the
it's
Cavs. It is
absolutely
about the
about the
Cavs.
Cavs.
Best, okay, but it's the best
Absolutely
team
about the
in
Cavs.
the
They have to
NBA.
win it all. It's
Yes,
not like
I don't think there's any way the Cavs win. Oh, I see a way with the Celtics win two more titles. That's what I'm saying. If it was a different team with the Nuggets, I'd be like, that's crazy.
Clemmer,
But
you,
like the Cavs, I don't believe
the-
it.
Yeah, if it was like the
This year.
Thunder, if it
Yes,
was like
I'd
the
be like,
Thunder,
oh,
I'd be like, that's a
fuck.
little much.
What's
Cavs,
the,
no,
what's
not
the
too
odds
much.
to win the championship this year?
The Cavs this year?
No,
Which
they're
championship? This one or the
12 to
next one?
This one.
Who, the Celtics?
1200?
It's like 3-1.
Everybody.
Oh, what, like the field versus them?
Yeah. So the Knicks have worse odds. The Nuggets have worse odds than
That to
this
me is
year than
crazier.
2 years.
'Cause I
So
think-
it's
yeah.
literally everybody besides the Thunder and the Celtics have. The Celtics have a better odds to win 3 years in a row than.
I think
Dude, it's tough to
here's
go
why I
through
think the Cavs are especially crazy because the Cavs have to battle through the East.
But
So they
that's
have to beat the
fine.
Celtics
They
and have to beat the Thunder and
Timberwolves.
Nuggets.
The Timberwolves have. Pick your chance. Pick anybody.
Marty, my point is your argument has better legs with those West
Yeah,
teams
no,
to
that's
me than the
fine.
East.
I'm fine.
It is,
I
like,
get what you mean with
the
the Cavs,
Cavs
but
are
every one
You're
of
just
these
pointing
guys,
out a stat.
I know.
Makes
I've
sense.
also
crazy.
I've also gotten to the point with the Celtics where more so than like getting that like regular season record or whatever, it's becoming more and more clear. I don't think there's any team that could just beat them in a 7-game series.
No.
Like,
Unless
but,
they were
like,
to get
that's,
injuries.
That's going off.
You
Like,
made the same face last year, Marty. The same,
No,
made the same face.
No, I did not.
Nobody's beating
No, I did
Boston
not.
unless
This
they get
year,
multiple injuries.
we're 10 games in there, and teams have gotten better. They have gotten better.
Like the
You think-
Cavs?
you think
and
the
they're,
Cavs
and they're
have gotten-
fraud 12 and 0.
Thunder have gotten a lot better, and they
Thunder
haven't-
are good.
The
Thunder
Thunder-
are really
the
good.
Thunder-
Thunder are
got
really
hurt,
good.
and they also
this
haven't-
is not even me, Knicks guy. Like the Thunder, everyone's healthy. What I've seen, the Thunder, I think they're a team that would have like the best shot.
Thunder definitely have a shot.
not-
They have the best shot.
I'm not denying that at all.
No. Yeah. Zero.
And that's they also Chet's out for a while, and Hartenstein hasn't played yet.
That's why I think because they're
Well,
if they're fully
Chet
healthy.
Chet's just missed one game so far this year.
No,
right?
but
No, they've been great.
I think the point with them is I think they're
I'm
the
just
they're the
saying he's
deepest.
hurt now is where
I know.
I'm like they're hurt.
Thunder, and I would say the Nuggets too, because Jokic is just like scary.
I have a stat on the Thunder.
Thunder could just match the depth. That's the thing. Like
yes.
even the teams like the Knicks right now can't even come close to match the depth.
Last-
Ev, can I? My only counterpoint to that is like when you're looking at the odds. Why I'm saying it makes sense in the East right now. I don't think there's any team that could beat the Celtics in a 7-game series.
Not health. No,
I-
not
that's-
fully healthy.
that's
No.
what-
That's why the odds are that
Right,
low
and then-
because the East is fucking dog shit.
And the Thunder, on the other hand, is like if we match up with the Thunder in the finals, I will not be as cocky as I am. I do think that the Thunder have some teams that can match up with them in the West.
I actually think that's the only team right
Do
this
you
second.
see what I'm saying at all with
Yeah.
that? Like they have a tougher road in the West to get to
Yeah,
the finals.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
no,
this.
that's-
I
no, that's
think that I'm completely
Nuggets
wrong.
or Timberwolves or whoever.
My hand is up. I was completely wrong about the Cat trade. That fucked both teams.
I guess. Well, so
think it-
far, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it fucked both
Have
teams.
you seen some of the stats of him defending the interior?
Yes.
he can't play the five.
Can't do it.
He's like obsessed with it.
What I
Hanks is
said the
obsessed
day
with
they
it.
made the trade, I said we got soft. We have no
and
one
I'm
inside
wrong.
that can
I'm
play
saying I'm wrong.
defense.
I am completely
The-
wrong.
We need.
I also-
we need another big man, not just Mitchell Roberts. We need another big man.
I
We
also
need depth at the
still don't
spot.
love how they're using Mikal Bridges for 5 draft. I don't love
That
how they're
was-
using
In
him.
hindsight, that's a good. I have to go. I'm sorry. I'm taking Mavericks plus 2.5 tonight as my pick, and fuck Rick Pitino.
You're taking the Warriors.
No, I'm taking the Mavericks. I don't like the Warriors. Mavericks. If you look at their last 2 games, they've lost, but both games are very close.
Got it.
Mavericks.
Just know on the Knicks, they have like one of the highest offensive ratings in the league and one of the lowest defensive ratings.
Yeah.
So like offense
And
hasn't been an
but
issue.
The best
No,
thing
he's
about
played-
the
he's played great in
Knicks,
offense,
the
I
best
mean.
thing about the Knicks was their defense.
yeah, they don't have a defense right
I
now
know, and
because
that's
Cat
where-
can't defend the 5.
That's where like it just doesn't make any. I'm wrong about because
He has to play the 4.
Cat's
He has to.
unbelievable on offense. I don't care what anyone says. He is a good offensive player. I think great, honestly, but it just doesn't. It's just not mixing well. And I know it's still early, but we keep saying it's still early. It's just not getting much better.
And the other part with Cat to 5, it's not so much the rim protection, which obviously is like an insane number. I think it's like 32 or 35 in the restricted area. It's not that many attempts. What's hurting them is him playing drop coverage and where you have so many wide open threes. Just keep. I think it was like 44 wide open threes the Pacers had in the game the other night, which is just an absurd number. Like that's the defensive part that's hurting them, not so much rim protection.
I'll stick up for the Knicks. I really like on paper the lineup when Mitchell Robinson is healthy.
I do too.
But that's a
It's
huge
almost
if.
like it's Timberwolves-ish with Rudy Gobert, and I actually think I don't think Mitchell Robinson gets the respect he deserves because of how injured he always is. Yeah,
No, he is
always hurt, so we
I
can't
think
rely on him.
We need like obviously Mitch comes back in like January is like the goal. We need to add another big man so we have two. Like being able to platoon Hartenstein and Mitch made it great. Like we need to be able to platoon.
In hindsight, the worst one you lost.
No, Mitchell Robinson getting hurt was the worst thing that happened because Hartenstein got to show how good he was when we knew how good he was. We would have got Hartenstein like a team-friendly deal again, but he showed the fuck out, so he got $29 million a year.
Got a ton of money.
He deserved it. He deserved it.
He went to a really good team.
He's a big man that can do everything. He can pass. He can you can legit facilitate with him. He rebounds well, defends well. He can score a little bit.
Yeah.
He's just he was perfect for that OKC team.
I want to see what Precious can do when he comes back. Like he's been out the whole season.
So we have no depth inside at all.
Oh, your defense.
They were talking about it on MSG the other night. They're like, we're playing six guys. You got back-to-backs coming.
Can I say one thing about the Sixers?
Yeah.
They're a joke right now. Embiid is a problem. And I don't know if it ever all comes together, which I don't think it will. Jared McCain getting actual minutes right now. This is not a Duke thing. He is playing.
Player.
He's good, and I think that he can. Like with Maxey, he's a good ad for them if Maxey's healthy. But problem is, none of them are ever going to be healthy and also mesh together. I think they're all fucked. But that's all I gotta say. I think he can be a good piece for that team.
Mark, I thought you were gonna say it's actually a good thing Tyrese Maxey is hurt, so that way McCain can get these.
No,
reps.
I think that's what I meant to say is that they're actually letting him play more minutes now because everyone's hurt, and they're like, oh, actually, he won us our second game. You know what I mean? He's the one that won basically their game. What's their record right now? 3 wins, 2 wins.
2 wins.
2 wins.
We'll talk about another bad NBA team, the Bucks.
Oh, awful.
I'm very.
Giannis is gonna get traded.
Giannis is gone.
I'm very convinced Giannis is going to be traded this year, and Doc Rivers will not survive the season.
We have a little breaking news that's not really that breaking news from Adam Schefter. He would guess Daniel Jones doesn't play another snap for the New York Football Giants.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Which is exactly what should happen. He should never put on. He shouldn't even put on.
You know what the argument I was having with Meek yesterday?
Send him home.
No, you know what I was
on
having.
The couch.
I was having an argument
come to the games.
That we might want him to keep starting so we lose.
Right.
The other
I'd
guys
rather save the money.
The other guys
we'll lose regardless.
Yep. No, the other guys have a lot to show. They have a lot to play for. Daniel Jones has nothing to play for. It's done. Gone.
I mean, he has the rest of his career to play for.
No, it does. It doesn't matter. He'll get a backup job somewhere. He's made his money. He's got his contract. He'll be a backup.
He got 80-90 million.
He'll be a backup on some team.
Some team will give him another shot for sure.
1,000%.
Sure.
He's better than backups. Some backups.
I mean, the last 2 seasons, this is the pretty damning stat. They're 3-13 when Daniel Jones starts, and 5-6 when it's not.
That's all I'm saying is that we might want him to keep playing.
I am fully convinced.
Just eat the $23 million just to make sure we keep losing.
Yes, because dude, if Drew Lock comes in and shows a little flash, and it's he's also Drew Lock's playing for contracts other places.
Yeah, for sure.
And Daniel Jones isn't. We might want him to keep playing.
If Daniel Jones doesn't get hurt last year, we might have Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
If Daniel Jones is he's broken.
If you guys didn't beat the Patriots at MetLife, and if Chad Ryland makes that field goal, you guys get Drake May.
Yep.
Also, I found this stat from gambling. Evo found it. Shout out Evo. Jaguars have been underdogs of 13-plus points 18 times since 2010. The Steelers have been underdogs of 13-plus points once in franchise history. Steelers were founded in 1933.
Let me tell you, though, that's a guy that is lucky Daniel Jones exists.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
If Daniel Jones didn't exist, he would be the meme of how bad he is.
Although I will defend him slightly. they're bad with him. With Mac Jones, they are like,
awful.
Well, they're just bad no matter
Mac Jones
what.
sucks.
Mac Jones is bad.
Sucks.
But Trevor Lawrence is
Honestly,
also...
that was Stephen Shea's best take.
So
Trevor Lawrence was also...
Mac Jones is literally grow on trees.
Trevor Lawrence was,
100 Mac
was the
Joneses.
most sure thing we were told for a long time as quarterback.
Yeah, no, totally.
Caleb Williams was also kind of a sure thing, and that's he's still got a lot of time, but it wasn't as much as Trevor Lawrence. But right now, if you redraft those rookie quarterbacks, where's Caleb Williams going?
Oh,
May and Daniels going ahead of him.
Daniels is going 1 easily.
Are you putting Bo Nix over
How is
him?
Bo Nix not going before him right now?
I still think
Yeah.
they would I still think you'd see a skill set like Caleb Williams.
Ceiling's higher than Bo Nix.
Like Caleb Williams, I still think in another world in that like a redraft would still might go like 2. Just because I think they're like every quarterback's bad with the Bears, I think somebody would want to say, you know what, I'll rather take a chance on his skill set, put him just on not the Bears.
we went over it though
I got like
Monday.
Drake Mays, but Drake May is still he's showing flashes. He's still he
The
has
line was not the
beater.
problem for the Bears last
He's
year.
been amazing. I don't get where you guys are coming from. with
Yeah,
this.
I've been the one
No, I'm with
gassing
you.
up with you.
I'm with
but
you.
let's he's played good, but let's not.
He's
sit
played
here and
amazing.
pretend.
He said he's the best.
I think he's the best rookie.
Amazing. See, that amazing. You're going crazy.
not been
I
amazing.
don't think. I think he's
Amazing.
been
You're like
amazing.
you're bugging out saying amazing. He's played well for a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
Amazing is
He's
such
got a lot to
stretch.
prove to still.
He's had some jaw-dropping throws.
There
Yeah,
was.
And he's incredible with his legs.
He's made some good
He's
throws.
Josh
He's a
Allen
good
2.0.
athlete.
Josh Allen.
There was a funny TikTok I saw.
I don't think it's that crazy.
Just using the
You
word
can't call him
amazing.
Josh Allen
Amazing.
right now.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
No,
I mean, you've
you
been hyping
can't.
up Daniel Jones all year.
This man.
No, I-
Hold on. He lost to the Titans. Like, let's stop. Wait.
I mean, he also
He
the
threw a
Patriots.
pick
The
in
Patriots.
overtime
The
to lose to
Patriots.
the Titans.
The Patriots are bad, and he makes them look not bad. Like they are probably like roster-wise a bottom 3 roster, and he makes them look good. He makes the offensive line
Doesn't make
that's
them look
dog
good.
shit look good. He makes
No,
these
I
fucking
thi- I
wide
think- I
receivers
think
that run
he
4.8s look
makes them look
amazing.
all right.
Duke's making points.
No, but Dukes, hear me out. Listen, I'm with the Giants. I'm here. Like why we've had such bad quarterback play. If anyone came in and showed a pulse, I'd be like, oh my god, that guy's
Yes,
incredible.
yes.
You just had a little too much Mac Jones and Kobe Brissett the last year and a half. Listen, like I said, Mac Jones is good, but I think you're putting him on like such a pedestal because you're seeing a guy for the first time in like 3 years have a pulse at quarterback. Trust me, if I saw Drake May doing that for the Giants, I'd be probably saying the same things. That's why I'm saying I don't fault you.
I do not think so. I think that just no one's really paying attention.
But
to the
how can you
Patriots.
not say
And I don't
anything
blame him.
about Bo? Like, how can Bo Nix not be better than Drake May right now? What he's done.
I mean, he's had 16 more games, so his stats are obviously going to be like bigger.
Isn't
And
it? He's had
He's had like what 6 more games.
Yeah.
games. 6 more games.
I mean,
but
in
but
the
he also
games-
the
in the games that
Broncos.
Drake
Nix has
May
showed
and-
flashes.
The Broncos were awful last year with Russell Wilson, who Russell Wilson looks good on the Steelers. The Broncos were dog shit. The fact that the Broncos were, we were told the Broncos this year were going to be like,
I mean, didn't they get like blown out by the Dolphins and then end up not being that bad? And like we kept talking about like how frisky they were last year.
They were better. I mean, they were better than
but they
losing
weren't.
like
they
16
were
and 20.
Yeah, they were
They have,
horrible.
like, don't they have
still.
like an awesome defense this year?
Their defense is solid. I think
But
their defense is solid.
But Bo Nix has played well. You can't deny that.
I'm not. I'm just saying the Patriots are that bad. Besides Drake May, the Patriots
Like,
like
it's-
their
But you
defense
told
is
us all
young.
year the defense
We're
was
splitting
good.
hairs though now.
They
Told the
once
defense
they
was
traded away Matthew Judon, I was like, yeah, the Patriots defense should be good. The defense has not been good. It's been good the like past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but like they're not fucking like world beaters at all. They suck. The
We're
wide
splitting
receivers
hairs.
suck. The offensive line sucks.
I think Drake May's a good player. I think just saying he's been amazing.
I think we're going to
is
slow
a
it down a
stretch.
little bit.
I don't think so. I think he's been the second best quarterback.
Second
I
best?
also I'm sitting here holding the flag for Michael Penix when he gets his shot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, this guy's really
He's not
good.
going to get it for a while.
No, he's not going to get it, unfortunately, this year or probably next year. But
There was a
It worked
Ryan
out for Jordan
Russillo
Love.
TikTok.
I'm telling you, Penix is really good.
So Ryan Russillo had a TikTok where it's like, I don't know if we'll ever see a quarterback as bad as Daniel Jones gets 70+ starts. And there's one
Agreed.
comment that I saw that was top comment. It was like, Trevor Lawrence is that guy. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, it's
He's better than Daniel Jones, though.
No, but it's going to look close.
He's a better
I know
football
he's
player than
better.
Daniel
I know
Jones.
he's better, but it's going to look close at the end. Like he's at what, year 4 now?
Yeah, Daniel
Yeah.
Jones only has 2 more years on him.
If there's 2 more years of this, it's going to be the same exact
And they
stats.
both have the one playoff win that people want to clutch to. They both have the bad coach people want to like clutch to. It's like,
Yeah. Oh, it's the same person right now. This is just a little better.
I'm more just wondering. My only thing is just, are the Giants going to stay with Shane and Dable? I'm still like, I just don't
They
know.
are.
I think they're probably going to.
if they go, I think
I think there's a chance they might not. They definitely could. They could change up on that.
if they win a bunch of meaningless games with Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito, I think that saves their jobs. If they go 2-15, I can't see John Mara keeping them.
I tend to agree with you, Meek. But that's why it's like, what do I even want anymore? Because see, this is where I'll give back a little bit on like the tanking thing. If you know you're firing this regime, fuck it, lose them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like because the culture building at that point for me is out the window. If you know like this coach, GM, regime is all gone.
Culture
that
wins.
changes the culture argument for me.
Culture wins is the biggest myth in sports.
No, I disagree with that.
How do you disagree?
Yeah,
I disagree I disagree entirely because I think if this foundation is what you're like building with, then I think culture I think it genuinely matters. But if in terms of like the roster,
the Giants do have right now.
The Giants got culture wins last year, and the Commanders didn't. And look what happened now. They got their quarterback.
They also made off-season moves, not in the draft, by tanking. They made they traded.
What was the biggest move? Getting a quarterback.
They traded Montez Sweat and got like draft picks from that. They
traded him for him last year.
They got a quarterback. They got also a lot. Like quarterback doesn't fix fucking everything.
Yes, it fixes a lot of things.
It fixes a lot, but it doesn't fix everything.
No,
it fixes a lot of things.
Look at Justin Herbert and the Chargers. They had a good quarterback who couldn't do shit because they had nothing else around him.
Yeah.
Bingo. Boom.
He also
mute your mic.
He also made the playoffs with them already.
New coach too.
Yeah, like
No, it's so true. Culture definitely matters 1,000%.
Coach,
dude.
he was improved the defense immensely.
What do you think What do you think is happening with the Bears right now? You think their culture is good?
They had culture wins last year too. That first pick wasn't there.
And then they got the
It was
quarterback.
Panthers.
And then they got the quarterback.
But they got the quarterback. They get exactly what you did. What you're saying. Their culture sucks.
But they didn't need a new quarterback. They already had a good one.
What?
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
He's in that Fields.
They had a good
He
quarterback.
didn't work with them.
Works better. They worked better with him than they did with.
It's literally the same thing.
So you want Justin Fields as a Giants quarterback?
I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't hate it.
He's better than what we have now.
Well, no, but that's not.
Definitely better than what we have now.
You don't
That
get
is
to a
not
We'd be a
what we
playoff team
have.
with Tyrod Taylor.
You don't hit rock bottom and then get.
We would not be a
Justin
playoff
Fields.
team with Tyrod Taylor. We would not be. We'd have more
This
wins.
year?
We'd have more wins. We'd not be a playoff
We would be
team.
a bare minimum in the hunt. We'd be in that
Yeah,
graphic.
I agree. We'd be in the hunt.
The hunt is 3 wins, fucking asswipe.
I think we
We
have
have
4
two
at least. We
wins.
have
Yeah,
4
exactly. That's not a
So we'd
fucking
be bare
playoff
minimum
win.
in the hunt.
You're just so
I'm in the
stupid.
hunt.
It's Tyrod Taylor is not a playoff winning quarterback for the Giants. That's stupid. I'm not
We
having
went
this.
5-6 last year with our backup
Yeah, no,
quarterback.
same team.
That shows you a lot.
I'm not
My
listening to
team's
this
in the hunt.
nonsense.
My team's in the hunt.
Let's talk about tonight real fast. College basketball. Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State.
I love Kansas.
Love
Michigan State
Kansas.
stinks in this fucking tournament.
Love Kansas. But only thing is they are coming off a huge win.
Doesn't matter
Why?
because I don't know. I just think Michigan State doesn't perform in this tournament. I really don't.
They're just usually the worst team out of all
Yeah,
of them.
I like
They play
Kansas.
Duke and out of all 4, they are usually the worst. And Duke is, I'm telling you, is going to wipe the floor with Kentucky tonight. And I'm not saying that there's Duke because Duke.
I don't think so.
I think so because listen,
I don't think so.
Our defense.
I think Kentucky hangs.
I think they win by 10 plus.
I think Kentucky. It's
I
6
think
and a half.
that-
I took Kentucky.
And I'm not going to say this about every team they come up because Duke against Auburn is going to be a war. That's not. I'm not going to say that. I think that Kentucky is still. I think that the Duke's defense is going to show out on Kentucky tonight, and I don't think Kentucky's defense is going to contain Duke's off. I think it's going to be high scoring, but I still think Duke stops them a lot more than you think today.
Should have Dayton zone Kobe Brea. What is it? Brea? Brea.
He's 10 of 12.
Stud.
He's 10 of 12 from deep so far this year. He's hit the rim 3 times.
I also wanna
Amari
know-
Williams is really good. Kentucky's got a decent team. I think that I really think it's gonna be a close game.
Kirk Carissa, let me tell you something. I applaud you for what you did because you got me riled up. I applaud you for being on your 3rd team and being on the bench on this team as well.
He's put up good numbers so far.
Is he come off the bench?
What does that matter?
It's not who
think
starts,
I'm
it's
off the
who
bench.
finishes.
Does he come off the bench? Oh, it's just fact. It's a
I think he
fact.
leads the team in assists.
It's all, I'm saying it's a fact. He's coming off the bench. Cooper Flagg wouldn't even look at you in the locker room. That's how bad. You're not even close to on the same floor. You shouldn't be on the same floor as him. He's gonna be wipe the fucking floor with Kentucky tonight. Cooper Flagg hasn't said a word about being number 1 pick. He just plays. It's everybody else. You can't pin that on Cooper Flagg. Did you see the clip? I'm just saying things without saying the clip. Kirk Carissa
I just kind of assumed that Carissa said something.
Kirk Carissa went off and said that, like,
Congrats to him.
Congrats to him for being the number 1 pick already. That's all I keep hearing. And it's like, all right.
Guy's getting himself a little fired up.
No, it's gonna. And I knew the way I could see it. Riggs, great blogger. His first line in his blog about it was like, "I don't even care if it backfires." He's scared because you don't say that the first thing.
Well, I think the Duke team is talented enough. Like he's thinking like, is there a world where we get blown out? Sure,
Definitely.
Yeah.
but I also think there's a world where Kentucky wins. I don't think that's like the craziest thing.
It wouldn't be crazy, but I think Duke handles them tonight.
Kansas is the safer bet. That's my pick. What do you have tonight, Ev?
In Maction, we got 3 Maction games, all at 7. I know I'm on Bowling Green. I'm on Buffalo. I'm on Buffalo in the over. I think that should be a high scoring game, like Buffalo at home in the over 54.5. I like Central Michigan plus 14.5. Toledo they've only blown out like 1 or 2 games this year. They haven't blown all the people out. I also like the over 51.5 in the game just in case they run it up. But CMU put in this new quarterback Glassy in the game who threw the ball much better. He's a former Toledo guy, I'm pretty sure. So I kind of like the angle. And I think it's these MAC games, a lot of them are close. I think they're going to keep it close. So yeah, like Buffalo in the over, CMU in the over, and Bowling Green. I'm on Kentucky plus 6.5 in hoops.
Marty.
I'm going Villanova minus 2.5 tonight against St. Joseph's. St. Joseph's isn't as good this year.
No.
They lost
Fire Billy Lang, they're saying.
What?
Saying Fire Billy Lang.
They lost to Central Connecticut.
Who I don't think is that bad, but
Yeah, no, but like I think this is usually like I think
they're both in a bounce back spot.
I think also people think Villanova's so bad they'll be like, oh, I'm taking St. Joe's tonight.
That game. I don't know who to take yet.
I'm going Villanova. I have Kansas minus 5.5. The other games tonight are like fine. I'm going Drexel plus 10.5 against Temple, and then Duke minus 5.5. Take my parlay with the over in the Kansas game, and then Syracuse minus 11.5. I'm sorry, Colgate plus 11.5 against Syracuse tonight.
I like Colgate as well.
I don't know what to make of Baylor, by the way.
I think Baylor's really good.
Just like they got blown the fuck out by.
Yeah, it happens.
That was bad. I don't know if I hold that against them like fully.
Then they
Some nights
They
you
also
just
got a
can't.
young team too.
Some nights you can't throw the ball in the ocean. They just got killed. Dukes, what do you got for tonight?
They have my guy, which is sad to see.
Edgecombe?
No,
Jeremy Roach, right?
I have one of my favorite plays of the year.
Okay.
Penn State minus 131.5. Minus 31.5 against St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Penn State's going to be a top 30 team this year with Mike Rhodes. Comes from VCU, second year in the program. Ace Baldwin, Puff Johnson. I love this Penn State team. I think they make the tournament. I think they're going to blow them out.
Puff
I think that
Johnson's
everyone
on
just
Penn
sees
State.
Penn State.
Yeah, he was last year too, right?
Yeah, I think that everyone just sees Penn State and just assumes they're not a basketball school. They are
They've
very,
never been
very
good in
good.
my
Dude,
life.
they're a team I've like
They're another
loved to
team
bet
that's
over the
never
last
been
like
good.
5-6 years. They'll always be like plus
Always
8 at
in it.
home,
Yep.
Yes.
plus 10 home against one of these good Big Ten teams, and it'll put a scare into them.
And Mike Rhodes has
they've
a
never
I'll
been
run that
good.
with you, dudes.
And I'll say this too. I think that Penn State, I just look ahead spot. They're going to play Purdue at home. They're probably going to be like 2.5 point underdogs. They're going to win outright. So that's all I
that.
got.
All right.
On and then I have Iona minus 5.5, Pistons plus 2.5, Kentucky plus 5.5, Michigan State plus 5.5, and what was the last? Golden State
Minus 2.5.
Minus 2.5.
All right. Fire it up. Phil, you got anything?
Anders Lee goal scorer plus 260.
Check it out tomorrow.